Eating the fresh fruit at the market in Brazil was such a good time. Quick heads up, the prices were heavily inflated. But the service was good, the experience was fun, and, once again, the fruit was amazing. Funny enough, it was supposed to be a short layover, but the flight ended up leaving late, and, there's nothing you can really do about that. Of course, ended up missing the connecting flight, and the next flight was later that evening. So I decided to see the silver lining in it and just make a day trip out of being in Sao Paulo. And this view right here was another silver lining. It's always beautiful to watch a sunset or a sunrise over a city, or even over the ocean, or even over the clouds when you're taking a plane somewhere. But yeah, Sao Paulo is a beautiful place, also very busy. You'll see in some of the snippets I got here and there. As you'll see, I'm like a super amateur when it comes to this stuff, but as I continue to travel and take videos, fingers crossed I'll get better at it. But that aside, I didn't really get to do too much in the city. Like I said, it was a short layover turned into a day trip, but I'll try my best to provide insights and tips in case you end up heading out there. And moving on, this is some of the traffic I was telling you about. And when it comes to the cabs, use cash, unless you're using Uber. So this is the fruit market over here. It's in the municipal market, and as you can see, it's got a beautiful layout. But once again, make sure to shop around. Do your due diligence for pricing and things of that nature and quality. But once again, the food was great, and there were just tons of free samples, as you're going to see for like the next minute or two. And on that note, does anybody have any recommendations for like fruit markets or anything like that? Because I would definitely visit Sao Paulo again. And yeah, insofar as like the vibe of the city, I felt really comfortable walking around. Although I'm thinking about it, I don't really think there's anywhere I've been, outside the United States where I didn't feel comfortable or anything like that. But jumping back to the fruit, I could see why Brazil supplies most of South America with produce, aside from the obvious sheer size of the country. And speaking of the size of the country and recommendations, where would you recommend that I visit down there? Like I got a couple of places saved, like Praia dos Açores, and sorry, my Portuguese is non-existent, and also Lagoa Bonita, as well as the national park that the lake is situated in. And then obviously there's Rio. But yeah, let's get back to the day trip. And, like I said, I already, went through this already. And you know what's funny? See those mangoes at the bottom? I didn't realize that Brazil grew mangoes so big, because in the United States, usually you get them, they're kind of small. And they're not the best. They're a little bit watery. But you saw in that picture I overlaid, the mango basically covered my whole hand. Super delicious, super sweet. Absolutely love the mangoes. I feel like based off that alone, I could low-key survive in the Amazon. And I was a Boy Scout back in the day. So, between that and the mangoes, yeah, that should work out. But yeah, after eating the mangoes and doing some walking around the city, got a little bit hungry, stopped in a random spot and picked this up. It was pretty good. And here's some views of Sé. It's the geographical center, and as you saw, overlooking the city is the Sao Paulo Cathedral. Also, like any city in the world, you'll witness different qualities of life throughout the city. But that'll about wrap it up for the day trip. Ended up taking Uber back to the airport, and that was a smooth experience. And just took in some sights, took in some video, and then in a short while, I was on my way to Mendoza, Argentina. And Argentina did not disappoint.